So if you've ever set goals and still feel stuck in the same reality year after year, this video is actually going to change how you think about goal setting forever. I'm going to show you the 8-step reality architect system I used to build a $90 million brand, and I combine neuroscience, belief systems, esoteric principles of reality creation. It's not just about mindset or strategy, it's a system for deliberately architecting the reality of your dreams. All right, guys, welcome to the Reality Architect goal setting system. Now, I've been iterating on this process for years and years and years. And what I've created here, I think, is the most unique goal system that I've seen anyone speak about, because it encapsulates a number of different philosophies, whether it's spiritual based, whether it's science based, and inevitably it's going to allow you to materialize your desired reality better than any other system that I've ever seen. It's an 8-step system. I'm going to walk you through it now, and I guarantee you, if you use this system, you'll materialize your desired reality a lot quicker than you ever have before. So the first step is you want to set goals, right? That's it. Now, max 10, I think. Some people go to 12, but you want to have them spanned across health, wealth, and relationships. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that the goal is about a level 8 out of 10 conviction. Meaning that if I asked you if you're going to do $100 million next year, what level of conviction do you have? And we don't want to make it a 10 out of 10 because that'd be too easy. And we don't make it a 5 out of 10. Because the point of this, and the point of actually architecting your own reality and materializing it, is all based on the belief and conviction that you have in achieving your goals. Like, that is the biggest lever. And if you keep creating goals for yourself, we have very little conviction, and then you don't achieve those goals, that's creating a negative feedback loop in terms of your belief in yourself, which inevitably is going to push you further away from being able to create the reality that you desire. So that's why 8 out of 10 is a good, it's a good ballpark to aim for. So you want to put your goals in there. And then the second thing, and just give you examples, 3 might be financial, 4 might be financial, you might have some health goals and some relationship goals, another 3, whatever it might be. Don't go under 6 and don't go over 10 or maybe even 12. Now the second part is creating anti-vision. And the reason why you want to do this is because it creates contrast in your mind. And as humans, unfortunately, we are a lot better at running away from something than actually running towards it. And if we can create an anti-vision for each one of those goals, like a worst case scenario, then we're probably better at running away from them than we are running towards them. So, for example, if your business was to do $100 million at 20% profit, and you eventually did like 60% and 10% profit, and you didn't have enough money to pay employees or buy or pay for your mortgage, whatever it might be, right? You might have another health goal. You might stay overweight with low confidence, low energy, that you can't hang out with your kids or family members or whatever it might be. Or you can't get the girl you desired or dreamt of, whatever it might be. Create anti-vision for each different part of those goals and just make them almost as bad as you can, so then you really want to run away from them. The third step is you want to unlock resources. This is what people don't really think about enough. If you want to achieve these goals, right, what resources do you need to unlock? For example, if you have a fitness goal and you want to get down to 10% body fat, well, do you need to maybe get a nutritionist to help you with your diet plan? Do you need to get someone to structure your workout routines? Do you need to learn about nutrition? Do you need to listen to some podcasts, books, get some coaches, whatever it might be? And even for the business, like if you want to get to $85 million or $100 million in revenue, you need to increase sales by X amount. What resources do you need to unlock to get to those sales? Do you need to have some consultants around, creative strategy or Facebook or Meta, or do you need to learn some new skills, whatever it might be? Think about the resource that you need to unlock in order to achieve the goals. All right, then you move into your standards. These are your daily non-negotiables, right? This is like your input-output equation, meaning that what inputs can you do every single day that will make it unreasonable for you not to achieve your goals? What inputs can you do every single day that will make it unreasonable for the output, your goals, to be unreasonable? For example, if it's fitness again, if you stuck to your calorie count, which is a deficit, every day for the next 3 months, eating whole foods and training once a day and walking 10,000 steps, would it be unreasonable that you would lose the weight required? Yes, it would be. So then that's your inputs, in terms of your workouts, your calories, etc. If it's from a content perspective, if you were trying to scale your meta ads, If you created X amount of creatives, like doubled your creative output at a certain success rate, would that means, and you do that every single week or month, would that daily input be unreasonable for you not to make more money from the amount of ads or everything else? And same goes relationships, everything else. So I guess, you're getting the point now. And then you want to put the bad habits, the kind of, again, the contrast of the opposite. You cheating on your meals, you not producing the amount of content, maybe not spending enough time, in terms of the actual strategy of the content, whatever it might be. Hopefully you guys understand now. Now the fourth part is calendar. What doesn't get scheduled doesn't get done. And a lot of times we overcommit. We have these, huge goals and ambitions and stuff we want to do, and then we don't have time to execute them all because you need a certain amount of time and energy to do things properly. And this is where the calendar thing is so important. And this is where you start batching your time, batching your workouts, maybe batching the amount of time you're going to learn or read or upskill yourself throughout the week, the amount of time you're doing deep work on certain parts that are linked to your daily non-negotiables, going to link to your inputs to get to your outputs. Make sure it's structured all for your calendar. Map out your whole calendar for the whole week. And based on simulations, how much time you think you need in order to upskill or do the things, the inputs required. Now, the fifth point is beliefs. A lot of us have these, glass ceilings that we're not aware of in terms of holding us back, our internal narratives about what we can and can't do. So I've also actually created a ChatGPT for you guys, which I'll attach, that you can run through all this stuff. But speak to chat about some negative or competing beliefs that you might think that's stopping you from achieving the goals here, right? From the workouts to the financial stuff to the relationships, whatever it might be. And then you want to do, again, contrast the opposite. The positive beliefs, they'll help the goal versus the negative ones that prevent the goal. Now, this is a scientific-based formula. It's called the fear framework for actually brainwashing yourself. This is the next step. And you want to focus on the goals consistently. And you do that by actually, using triggers like potentially having, this filled out and looking at it every single morning. You might want to rewrite your goals every single morning. I've done that for years. I would literally just write out all my goals every single day. You might have a vision board that you look at. The next part is emotion. You want to visualize your new desired reality in 4D daily for 10 minutes. Meaning that you want to be able to live in that moment, we're doing the visualization, with as much detail and clarity as you can your current reality. Using all your senses, touch, smell, hear, feel, whatever. And you want to do that every day for 10 minutes. And you also want to try and incorporate someone that you know in your visualization, reaffirming that you've actually already achieved those goals. For example, if you have a business partner and you want to do $10 million in revenue this year, maybe it's your business partner saying, high-fiving you and saying something only he would say, congratulating you on getting to the 10 mil, right? And you can do this you can create different scenes based on the different goals. Next, the agitation. Disrupt your whole environment to make sure that you win. You can set up yourself to win. For example, if you want to do deep work, make sure everything's turned off in the morning as in terms of your inputs. Maybe if you're on a diet, make sure you don't have any junk food at home. Craft your environment to make sure you win. And last one is repetition. You want to make sure that the new standards that you have for yourself, the new identity you're creating that's in alignment with that frequency that's going to materialize your desired reality is happening on a daily basis. So track these habits every single day. And if you track your habits, you'll see. Are you living in conjunction with these standards, these daily non-negotiables inputs that's inevitably going to get you to these goals and then your identity? And the last part is rewards. You want to reward yourself. So put down different rewards. It could be milestones. Once I hit my fitness goal, I will allow myself to do this. Once I hit my financial goal, I'll allow myself to do this. The rewards are very important. Make it about other people. I think that's always great. All my goals pretty much, about others, like stuff that I'll buy for my wife or do for my wife or my family, my friends. Very rarely I have something personal because it just doesn't really motivate me, but do whatever motivates you. And the last stage is all about dopamine, right? I think there's a lot of the reason why people can't focus and do what they need to do is because their dopamine is geared towards negative, not positive stuff. So on the top half here, I want you to outline in 2025, or whatever you're doing this, the previous year, all the negative dopamine stuff that you're currently engaged in, whether it be watching Netflix, TV, distraction of messages, porn, alcohol, nicotine, whatever it might be, and all positive stuff. It might be your daily walks, could be learning, it could be deep work, workouts, Whole Foods, whatever it might be. And that gives you a basis of where you are now. And then the bottom half, what you're going to do is re-engineer this as to how you want it to look like moving forward. And the idea is to move as many negative things into the positive. And that should be the aim, right? If you want to scale, this is good, like if you use the ChatGPT, it scales like different activities and it gives you a point score out of 100. And you want to get to close to 100 positive dopamine stuff as possible and removing the negative stuff. Negative stuff detracted, positive stuff's attractors, whatever. So that's that. I hope that's clear. If you have any questions, let me know. I truly believe this is like one of the best goal setting systems I have ever seen because I've been working on it for a while now and I keep adding to it as to what I think will really help. But if you do these 8 steps and take your time and do this stuff properly, talk to chat in terms of constructing this, and I guarantee you, as I said, you will have the best year of your life. You will materialize anything that you put your mind to. So hope that helps, and I'll see you guys in the next one.